If you only knew the power of the dark side.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
Let's see what the fucking problem is with liking elf chicks.
I don't even know who you are. Just say that sentence out loud. I don't see what the problem is in liking elf chicks. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm a douchebag.
No, not a douche.
Douche.
A dork.
Alright, fine.
Not douche.
Douche dork.
Douche.
Double D.
Dork you douche. Because I'm not dorking you.
Well, thank fuck for that. You blithering idiot.
As cool as it is to be up to 80 episodes now.
Oh shit, you're You son
I
of...
was, in fact. And it worked out wonderfully.
Good. You look like an ass that bangs elf chicks. Or doesn't, actually, sadly.
You know what? I bet 90% of our audience, all 6 of them.
To you, the mighty
We
few.
love you very much. And I'm sure they would bang the elf gender of their choice.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think you're burying us an elf.
Elf men have stamina and apparently verve.
You need to read more elf help manuals. Yes,
That's
I
fucked
broke
up.
up puns.
Wow.
Puns. That's what you get for
Elf-
this. You get puns. I take no responsibility for this podcast. Puns.
And from
I will
everything I've heard,
punish you.
Elf chicks never give up, and you know, they can be 1,000 years old and have all that experience and still look like Liv Tyler or some shit. Why are you looking at me like that?
You suck monkey ball.
No, that's not true.
It feels true.
I don't want to know why you know what monkey balls feel like.
I don't, but I know what the feeling is like that I believe that you do, and I feel that way. That's how I feel. I feel like you suck monkey
Wow,
ball.
could you round about that one anymore?
You know what? It made sense. That's the worst part. Like, it was such an illogical, like, rounded sentence, and you're like, okay, I did follow him. Fuck, but it's dumb. It's just dumb. But that's what I do. As I bring the dumb.
I bring the dumb.
Title at...
2 minutes, 11 seconds.
Well, you know, I'm on form
That's
today.
gotta be a fucking record.
And
That's a phone.
it's not my phone.
It's my phone.
What the hell? Why does your phone sound like that?
Because that's the way it sounds.
Well, you should work on that.
I ain't working on a damn phone. So we saw a lot of movies lately.
None of them were good.
Yeah, well, where do you want to start?
Well, I watched 2 very decent, and it's hard to say phenomenal with zombie films because, of course, you know, people are kind of particular about zombie films. But I watched a film called DogHouse, which was a light British comedy zombie film, sort of a Shaun of the Dead Part 2, without any of the same characters, the same phenomenal level to it.
As long
But
as it's not part Dookie.
it was solid. You could definitely watch it. And then I watched The Horde, which is actually a French zombie film.
Which fills me with trepidation.
And as it should, but
I do not have a good record with French flicks.
solid film. Is it phenomenal?
My record
No.
with French flicks is about equal to my record with French chicks, which
But-
is to say, nil success.
I did not rave about it. I said it was a solid film, and it is. And it also has, at near the end, a French cop goes berserk and goes out, literally, versus zombies, like Scourge the Executioner in Simpsons Thor.
See, that right there is so worth the effort.
I'm telling you, dude, I've never seen anything like it. In any zombie film, like, this guy goes... I'm just like, no guns either. Like, well, there are a lot of guns, let me be fair, but by the end, like, shit is just wacky. Like, this is some crazy zombie.
Crazy
Ness.
zombie-ness.
But then, you stop by, and suddenly Decent went out the window because everything else
You chose the goddamn things!
I was about to say, everything else I played suddenly sucked because you were here. We watched Zombies, 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 which proves that you can include strippers and hookers and pimps and zombies and not make anything decent.
Which, again, shouldn't be fucking possible.
And Zombie Anonymous.
1. Hookers. Fuck yes. 2. Strippers. Fuck yes. Zombies. Well, actually, you know, the pimps I can do without, because they all like, shit, man, I'm the motherfucker.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to see that
This guy
dude.
was always trying to slack somebody.
Oh no,
backhand.
that was not funny at all.
He
But I was.
finally got to start backslapping some fucking zombies, and that was kind of humorous for a while.
Not really.
I said kinda.
But my point is, like, you take the pimp out. Like, what was the big highlight of the movie is waiting for this dude to get eaten.
Yes.
And then he got eaten, and it was so anticlimactic and lame.
Yep.
Whoopity crap.
We cannot endorse zombies. And
And that was followed by Zombies Anonymous, which was...
well, no, we're not finished with zombies yet.
What, you got more? Why?
Because the lame ass way, I mean, they couldn't just escape. They couldn't just kill all the zombies and wander off. They had to find the antidote, so to speak. Where the guy, they went to...
Who fell on the needle.
He went to the lab where the zombies were created. Idiot fell on the needle. He somehow had some kind of... Was it his body?
He was injected. He was injected
somehow?
with the cure, so whenever they bit him, they blew up.
But did they describe it as the cure?
I
Or
really...
was it just
yeah, because they
more-
went to the scientist who created it, and then when he was getting eaten by the zombie that was trapped under the car, horrifyingly bad. My thing, too, is like, how does it...
blew up!
I was okay with that. You know what? If-
No, I was not okay with them blowing up.
You know what? Compared to the rest of the effects, at least the blow up looked vaguely like something actually blew up. So, woohoo! But my big thing with that was the fact of the matter is this girl, the stripper's brother, is injected with this. The other stripper's building a relationship, so who cares? It's 4 minutes in. But she's like, "Oh, hey, let's get pancakes. My brother just got fed to zombies and died." I'm not.
What else are you going to do in a town like that at 4 a.m.?
Maybe mourning should be occurring.
They're strippers. If they had any kind of emotional range, they wouldn't be strippers.
Oh, don't mock strippers. That's uncool.
Name one stripper that's going to care about this podcast that I got to be cool about.
Chastity.
Who the fuck is Chastity?
I don't know, but there are enough strippers named Chastity that one of them would probably enjoy the podcast. I'm playing the odds.
That never works for you.
No, that's true too. So we followed that up with Zombies Anonymous, which was, to be fair, cleverer than
Yes.
Zombies.
Yes. It had more points to it, but it was more like a thought experiment in morality and anti-racism.
Although there was some humorous stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that was fine.
My big issue is that both of them were B movies and looked awful, and I probably would have finished Zombies Anonymous if I hadn't just watched another awful B movie zombie flick. So that I was like, fuck this, I can't handle you again. You're no better. Goodbye.
It was terrible. I don't know how we got through as far as we did.
Yeah. Beer.
Well, beer, yes, we got through with beer. And the main character did, in fact, have phenomenal legs.
True
So
that.
that was a bonus.
But you know what? I'm almost 40. I cannot be fucking swayed with, hey, she's cute. I'll watch 2 hours of this movie. No.
No, I'm done with that as well. And that will soon, sentences like that will soon get me to my real point of this episode. But until then, weirdness. So, what else did we see? We started watching. Why is that so low? Oh shit. Has my fucking mic been off this whole time? I really hope that was loud enough. Well, I'll cut all this shit out. At any rate, we started watching Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I was damned impressed with it.
You know what? I got through the first episode and fell asleep halfway through the second, which had more to do with my alcohol content than the actual episode. To be fair. But the first episode was excellent. And what I saw, the second one seemed to be intriguing.
And what you missed at the end was Amora and the Executioner hanging out.
Well, I'll be going back and watching that.
Yes, you will. Mm-hmm. Now, you caught First Class as well.
Yes, I did.
Now. Tell us all about your impressions on First Class.
It was a movie. Oh,
you had
mean more
exactly
detailed.
one impression about it?
I was going broad strokes.
How does
all your impressions get one broad stroke. Is that like when you're,
It saves
one
time.
broad stroke, you're done?
You know, it would save me so much time.
Wouldn't it?
No, actually, X-Men First Class was absolutely phenomenal. It's a strong film in and of itself. It's a great geek movie. It's a relatively respectful adaptation, considering it plays hard and fast with some facts and canon, but creates a solid history, plays to the character types, has some cool cameos. The acting is phenomenal.
Most of it.
Well, Kevin Bacon was a little iffy, and January Jones was a lot iffy.
January Jones, the only thing that kept her from being a complete slat of wood was her tits.
She's a beautiful woman, but she doesn't emote well.
No, nothing.
But the thing is,
nothing came across
Emma
from
Frost
her.
shouldn't emote well, but she doesn't emote not emoting well, which is really challenging.
Oh, stop that.
No, but I'm being
Were you
serious.
working on that like all week long?
No, I didn't even think about it, but it really is true, though. Think about it. Like, her inability to connect should be the defining factor of that character,
Yeah.
but in no way did she actually nail that.
No, Emma likes to talk. She likes to stand above people, and she likes to try to set herself up in conversation intellectually as a superior. January Jones didn't even try to do that because they didn't give her anything to try
But
with.
you know what? She, regardless of that, she didn't carry what they gave her particularly well.
No.
She looked phenomenal.
She was a bit flat in the ass.
You are a complicated individual. Fine. She
Whatever.
looked phenomenal for being a little flat in the ass, you incredibly picky nerd bastard, you. But she's just not a good actress for me. I mean, I don't watch Mad Men.
Nope.
I heard she was on the worst episode of Saturday Night Live ever because of her, but I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that either. So all I have, really, is this movie, and so far, not a fan.
No, it was a bit... I can't give her any more crap or props either.
But the rest of the cast was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah? Moira?
Rose Byrne stars in the show Damages, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I thought she was solid. I didn't think she was defining, but I also don't really think Moira is particularly defining as a character. So, you know what, you're playing a fairly bland, you know, they took the Scottish accent out, which is probably for the best.
They made her into a CIA agent.
But it worked for the concept they were working with.
I don't know that it strictly had to be Moira, though. I mean, they could have made that anybody. They could have just made up... the fact that it was Moira had absolutely no pull on anything anywhere.
Yeah, but they've always... when you go into a film, and this has been the ultimate geek issue, really, sad but true, that you want everything to be the same, but not everything works the same. A movie is a 2-hour, basically, window of opportunity. When you're trying to cram 50 plus years of comics history into a 2-hour window of opportunity, either you're going to change things or you're going to make a shitty movie. Or an incredibly complex and convoluted that no one other than 4 people who totally understand everything will fully enjoy. And even they are probably like, well, where is January Jones? You know, you can't win. So you have to play to the broadest strokes. And sometimes naming a character after a character and changing it, particularly with Moira Taggart, who absolutely no one should give a shit about.
Really? No one? No one at all?
Tell me about Moira McTaggart.
Well, she owns Muir Isle, and she runs Muir Isle Research Station. She's the mother of Prometheus. Oh, Proteus.
Prometheus. She found fire. Yeah, that's where you're going.
They rename everybody, dude. You think when they named fucking Kitty Pride Ariel, that it was Ariel was
And
the
Sprite,
first time?
yes.
they
Shadowcat.
used- no.
I remember these things.
It was not the first time anybody's used the word name Ariel. So
You keep me here because I remember these things.
I know that.
All right, so
Still.
she's the father. It's Chinatown. Moving on.
Wow. Okay. Yes, of Proteus. So,
Okay, so
and Legion actually as well, or one or the other. Which one was it?
I'm not telling you.
It was Legion.
It was Legion.
It was Legion.
It was not Proteus.
He wasn't Legion. He was totally Legion. Why did you
Anyway.
stop me when I said Proteus, you jackass?
I want you. No, there is a connotation there somewhere.
Anyway.
But the fact of the matter is that Moira McTaggart is never going to play a major part in the movies. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Unless you bring her in a way like this. Like, did she have to be a CIA agent? No, but it worked within the aspect they were going for, which was the spy aspect.
Right. That was fine with that.
So, and having her be a CIA agent helped build the spy aspect, which was phenomenal in the film. I keep using phenomenal because it was basically James Bond mutant.
And that's what just about everybody says.
I got it from you. You're like, that guy would be a great James Bond. I'm like, dude, don't fuck with James Bond. And don't talk to me about James Bond.
Who did I say would be a great James Bond?
Magneto.
Oh, Fassbender,
Yes.
Yo, sure he would.
And he would. But you know what? I didn't go into that blindly believing you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I take James Bond very seriously, to a ridiculous degree.
The
as we
faith
know.
in your oldest friend is staggering.
Yes, no. I've been proven wrong so many times that I tread softly now.
Hey, jerk.
But no,
and that's why it's the Mean Geek, friends.
It was a excellent movie. Now you also saw.
I don't need the angel. I don't know that Angel had to be Morrison's angel.
Having not really read Morrison's Angel.
Well, in my effort to not down Morrison quite so much and try to understand where he's coming from better, and
You experimented.
cover his milieu a little more, his oeuvre a
Oeuvre.
little more thoroughly.
You experimented with two different
I
Morrison
have
books.
gotten two of the trades that were his run in yes, that thing.
Yes.
X-Men, New X-Men, which was originally unadjectived X-Men.
Right. And you
And
also
then-
picked up a
Which is now
one-shot
X-Men
from his
Legacy.
earlier Vertigo career, Kill Your Boyfriend, which I have not
Yeah.
read yet, so that'll be coming, kids. It's a teaser.
Is it now?
So getting back to X-Men,
Largely, I didn't have a problem with any of it. I think they overplayed Hank's desperate need to fit in
in the movie or in
the movie.
Okay.
Considering that all he had to do was put on shoes and call it even.
Although the feet hands were a tad bit creepy.
Oh no,
Plus-
they were totally creepy. But it's not like he was not. He would never have stood out except at the beach.
You know what? I gotta be clear here too. Mystique wanted his jock so badly.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm furry in my heart. So I'm going to cure myself with your blood and become furry all over. Terrible, terrible plan.
It did seem a little ham-handed.
But you know what? At the same time, that's what happened.
They did need a kid. No, that's not what happened.
Well, he tried to experiment on himself and turned him furry. That is...
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to cure himself. Well,
Yeah.
back in the 70s? Really? Alright. I don't think he was that desperate, though, man. I've never seen anything about
He's a giant
Hank
blockhead looking thing. He didn't care for it.
Giant blockhead-looking thing.
Every other mutant is like this drop-dead fucking American Apparel model sitting there. Like, oh, let me comb my perfect hair and then fire my ice blast at you. I can read your mind and you like my ass. I can't see you because of my red, powerful eyes, but my brooding chin and my giant biceps will make up for it. I am a golden god with the wings of an angel. I'm a big thing that flies through the air because of my giant hands and feet. I think I can understand why he might have felt awkward.
Yeah, but he had almost no sense of proportion versus Mystique, though. Because, I mean, it's your feet. Put him in the fucking
Just
shoes.
because he's bright doesn't mean he's not stupid.
Well, there is that.
Plus, dude, let's think about the original comic. Even Professor X was sitting there like, yeah, I may be bald, but I look just like Patrick Stewart, bitches.
Right. And did that amuse you or creep you that he's using his fucking evolution speech to pick up chicks and bars?
I think it's genius.
I enjoyed it myself. I was just checking.
I enjoyed everything about the movie. It was a strong film. I thought Kevin Bacon was a little over the top, but he sold it overall. He wasn't the Sebastian Shaw I wanted, but I didn't mind him. Right. My only real big problem with the film, and it's a tiny little thing, but it was driving me crazy. Right. Name the wind guy.
The wind guy. In the credits, they say it's Riptide.
Okay. In the credits, they say...
Yeah, but they never said his name in the movie. And they changed his powers slightly. Well, actually significantly.
But come on, like, there are 5 evil mutants. You can't find time to name him?
Yeah, that did irritate me a little bit, because they're kind of, like, off to the side, and it's just like, no, just, when we need some offensive power, you can go ahead. And that kind of bored me, really, because he was just like the backup plan of Arm & Hammer baking soda in the fridge, you know?
It's just kill people with wind. We need to fill some time. Now, what did you think of the whole Darwin storyline?
Darwin, he's got to be coming back, because his whole idea is that he really actually can't die because he adapts to everything.
Yeah, but he found something he couldn't adapt to. Like, that's common in even Darwin theory. It's like the strongest survive, and Shaw approves. Oh, I'm sorry, you might evolve, but I'm more powerful, and you're not going to make it. That is Darwinism in a sense.
No, I think he's going to be just fine. I mean, this is, after all, X-Men and comic book based stuff.
I think he's dead. I think he's very, very dead.
No, until they.
By the way, kids, in case you forgot, we are a spoiler podcast.
Spoiler podcast.
So if you're sitting here like, why would they tell me that? It's in our charter.
It's
like, we make this shit clear. It's literally everywhere.
And aside from that,
it's not like.
Aside from that, the movie is actually in like one theater now, because everyone on the planet who's going to have seen it has seen it. And
All
if
valid.
you haven't seen it yet and you're waiting for DVD, you can fuck off.
Yeah, if you're a big enough geek to find our friggin' musty asses somewhere in the lower ether of the internet, and yet you haven't seen the movie?
You know, and that's something that's killing me these days. We'll get to that soon. Remind me about that. Holy shit, this is an insane show. We're watching yet another Masters of Horror there, kids, and somebody is ripping the shit out of an entire strip club.
While another dude is stabbing himself in the crotch.
With a broken bottle. What? Insanity. We don't know what's happening. We didn't turn the sound up. There's no subtitles.
You know, I think I'm better off not knowing.
Yes, pretty sure. Well,
plus, it's got Elliot Gould and Jason Priestley in it, so I feel that, you know, catching the acting is not in my best interest. Sometimes you got to walk away and say, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm staying over here where it's safe.
Now, you didn't catch Green Lantern.
I did not.
Which is
you
a
did.
Shame. I did. And you know what? I was nervous about several things, and there was a couple of things I really didn't dig. But I think overall, for a change in the weather, for another effort outside of fucking Batman and Superman, I think it was just a fine DC movie.
No, you are in the minority. I mean, I'm not ruling anything out until I've seen it, but, you know...
I have no problem being
critics
in the minority.
and people agree, Green Lantern, not so good.
Well, Hal was, in fact, Kyle and Wally West merged.
That's awful.
No, it wasn't that bad.
But a lot of what I read, and I read a couple of things because I haven't seen it, is that the whole concept of this unlikable guy not learning anything till the last part of the film.
No, that's exaggerated.
Okay.
That's exaggerated. He is a lovable screw-up. He's not completely over the top.
A lovable screw-up
slasher.
is Shaggy. Okay, this guy's a championship fighter pilot. He's not a screw-up at all. He's a lovable douchebag, perhaps, but...
No, you
And
know
yes,
what?
I like saying
He
douchebag.
really
I've been clear on
isn't
that.
actually even a douchebag.
Really? All
Yeah,
right.
he was late one day. It was kind of important. He crashed the plane because he was showing off. But he's a fucking stunt pilot. He's a test pilot. They show the fuck off. Their egos are big.
Fair enough. I see where you're going, trying to defend the ego of a guy who's driven by id. But if I own a plane and you crash it, you're on my naughty list for a long fucking time. Like, it's not like a quick, oh, you're a test pilot, you've got a problem.
No, he did get in trouble. It's not like it's not like they didn't give a shit that
docked
he
his
did
pay.
it.
Like, if I actually somehow managed through winning a lottery and fucking up my life so badly that I'm in charge of shit.
Well, the actual boss did in fact fire him.
Okay. For how long?
Carol, for the all of 4 seconds
Yeah.
it took for Carol to say, "You're not fired." If Carol wasn't in the office that minute, he'd have stayed fired.
Look, let's say that you're my number one
But
test
Carol
pilot.
was banging him. What is she gonna do?
You know what? You blow up a giant ass plane that cost me a lot of money. I can get another dude. Wow, this is just going horribly awry. But my point being, let's say I own an airplane
Yeah.
and you're my number one pilot and you blow up the plane. I'm not going to fire you. I'm going to put you out there in a giant fucking pink plane.
Pink?
I'm going to change your uniform to short shorts and tassels. I'm going to do everything I can to ruin your life. You'll have reindeer antlers and 3D goggles on whenever you fly, and I might hire other pilots to shoot your ass down.
Alright, that might be excessive.
I can't prove that. And neither can a court of law.
That would be excessive.
I'm known for
I don't know,
being
when they
excessive.
find the antler lodged into the canopy, I think they're going to be able to take that one to court.
Anyone who's met me is like, he's kind of excessive. And this is why. But you know what? Just saying
But
I
you know
blew up
what?
a
In
plane
any
because
oth-
I'm cocky? No, that's not cool.
No.
Because he's showing off.
Yeah, showing off is not... Anyway, the point is, this...
Yes, I've taken a small, tiny little point and driven it to a ridiculous degree. I fully acknowledge that.
You see that now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, I knew all along.
Oh, you jerk. God, there are days.
Every one of them.
Not every one of them.
Now, your birthday and Christmas.
Certainly yesterday and today.
Probably tomorrow.
But we can't be sure of that.
That's true. It's an enigma, wrapped in
But no,
mystery,
see-
covered in bacon.
Okay, are you done?
Well, I like bacon.
I know you like bacon. What's that got to do with this?
Bacon-y goodness?
Whatever. Where was I?
I have no idea.
Green Lantern.
Trying to defend
They
Kyle
moved on.
Richards.
You totally fucked me up.
I know. It's awesome.
I hate you so much.
Yes. Hal Jordan, not a bad guy. Learns things. Movie
He
better
does.
than expected.
Yeah, he learns.
How is the space? How's the ring combat? And wow, how often in life do you ever have that sentence come out of your mouth?
The hyperspace trip was not exciting, but looked good and was like, ooh, okay.
Now, didn't
You
they have
got
an
the
issue?
OA, and a lot of people. I question some of their design decisions. I don't necessarily find them bad or good or whatever the fuck. I've certainly seen stranger shit in the pages of comic books, and people have glossed over it and not fucking cared. So, I don't really care that there's only 5 Guardians and they're sitting on 30-foot tall pedestals with, 15-foot robes coming down the ends of them.
I care a little bit. That sounds horrible.
No, it doesn't look that bad in perspective. The weird thing...
Wow, we haven't hit the weird thing
No,
yet.
we have not hit the weird thing yet. The weird thing is the transparent headgear they were all wearing. It was just like... They were wearing fucking salad bowls, really.
Well, it's safer.
And
for when
then
Rocky
what?
for when Rocky attacks. A lot of punches to the brain. You can
Rocky?
Yeah, Balboa.
What's that got to do with this?
I don't know.
Owa? Balboa?
Yeah. I wouldn't even go in there,
You were
but-
fucking reaching for that one.
I like Rocky. It's a great movie.
Are you done?
Probably not.
Sinestro was bang on.
Oh, cool. And
he looked fucking good. I don't know
Kilowog?
what they did. Who?
Kilowog?
Kilowog was fucking awesome. They did not give either of them enough time. Because
Wow.
they had to get through the story and get on to one of the big things that I really disliked.
Oh, good. Let me skip the things that are awesome to get to the big thing that no one likes.
I liked his learning how to make the constructs and how to reinforce them. And
Do
how
they
to-
have pie?
pie?
Remember the mechanic?
The mechanic. Oh, Moonface.
Wow.
Tom Kalmaku.
I have no idea.
Yeah, the Eskimo guy. Yeah. He was in there.
Okay. Moonface.
I think it was Moonface. I can't remember. It was Tom Kalmaku.
Well, let's take that because that sounds like a decent, not offensive name.
Yeah.
As opposed to
it was the fucking late 50s. They didn't give a fuck.
You know what? You should always give a fuck about Moonface.
In the late 50s, they were just happy they weren't shut the fuck down.
Valid.
I mean, we're lucky the guy wasn't running around in a goddamn parka dragging around a dead seal.
Who's the guy from Chop Chop from the Black Hawk?
Yes! See?
Hi, I am the most racist thing you will ever find. Please enjoy our comics. We've
But
also got...
those two were exactly like if one of us got powers.
Wait a minute. Oh.
One of them came to the other and says, I have something so incredibly important and mind-blowingly awesome to show you. And if I came to you and said that, you would be like, you need to zip up.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me. I will say it here. I will say it now.
But then I'd show you that I was in fact zipped and everything was fine.
I don't know about fine.
And you would
but
accept that for just a few minutes while you got ready to punch me if necessary.
all true.
Which is what Tom was doing.
Okay.
So, he pulls out the...
Aha! Aha!
That's not it. He pulls out the power battery.
Is that what you're calling it now?
No. He pulls out the lantern, the power battery. And he says, I got this from the alien. And he's like, so what? It's some kind of glass thing. And he's like, you see this ring? You charge this up with this thing, and you can do all kinds of crazy shit with it.
Wow, it's something become a Bill Cosby routine.
Right. That's what it is. So, if I came to you and told you I could do all these wonderful things, you'd be sitting on the couch going, well, you're going to have to fucking show me. Cause
No, I would be sitting on the couch like, who do I know who can commit him soonest?
And then I would swing into my uniform, and you'd be like, goddamn! Right?
Yeah, all right, fair enough. If you suddenly,
You'd say, you're a superhero. Just like Tom Kalmaku did. So, and the other thing is, I like the fact that they recognize that he's a superhero and not just, holy shit, you're a guy with some kind of crazy powers.
Yeah, but you know what? You are a guy with some kind of crazy powers too. You use them really well.
No, but this universe understands superheroes, is what I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. I see your point then. But yeah, the general idea, it's like if I find a giant rock in my backyard, and whenever I lick this rock, and we all know if I find a giant rock, I'm probably going to lick it at some point. But if I find this, and then I lick it, and suddenly I can fly and shoot laser beams out of my friggin' toes if necessary, I'm not a superhero till I've done good with it. Because my first 3 months...
Yeah, but that's our logical real world.
Well, yes, but that's where I live.
You
I've
do
got
not
all-
live in our logical real fucking world, dude. I'm sorry.
I do too.
You
I have all
need
my
to
stuff
fuck
there.
off with that trash right now.
All my stuff is in the real world. Yeah, check. Look around. Stuff.
Physically speaking, yes.
Ha ha! Point proven.
Whether it's a natural part of that natural world is a whole nother fucking
I'm
story.
not saying I fit in. I'm saying I live here.
Uh-huh. But really, in these universes, you accept things that couldn't be accepted here and now in front of us. You can recognize reflections,
Yes.
because I'm clearly Ryan Reynolds, and you're absolutely Tom Kalmaku, who looks just like fucking Moss from IT Crowd.
That poor bastard. That's a shitty thing to look like.
Right down to the glasses, dude.
Oh, that sucks monkey butt. Isn't that horrible? Like, there are certain things you just don't want to hear. Like, you look just like Steve Buscemi.
No one would ever be happy hearing that. Although I got Mark Anthony once. Hey. Yeah, really.
Mark Anthony, as in...
Anthony.
As in...
As in the fucking historical figure that was banging the most beautiful girl in the world?
Okay, you look just like a dude that no one has seen ever.
They've got statues of him.
Really, you look like a statue of a dude.
Alright, now you're just being deliberately fucking...
I'm being logical. I mean, you know what?
You are not good at the logical thing. What the fuck is this change of heart stuff tonight?
I'm totally logical.
Not even close.
Look, if there are 2 cookies in front of me and a cookie in the bush, I will totally grab the cookie in the bush because it could be better. Logic.
Wrong. That's not logic. That's gambling.
Bush cookies. Logic.
Bush cookies. That's... Wow. Bush cookies? What the fucking bush cookies? You're killing me. I could have dealt with a little bit more training.
Really?
They could have cut down the one scene that I really disliked and gotten more training in. Maybe even a real mission with Sinestro.
That would have been nice.
Because Sinestro needed more screen time.
The build, though, is hard in these kind of things. Because you're trying to throw a ton of origin in.
You can't throw everything in the universe in there, or it'll be 3 hours long and it'll bore the pants off of everybody.
But then again, the cool thing about Batman Begins is that they took kind of certain things. They're like, you already know this, so we're not even going to show it to you.
Right.
Like, we don't have to build to this because you know it. Which
Right.
is amazing, and comic book movies don't generally have the fucking testicles to do so.
So they needed to minimize all the time on everything else so they could get to the giant race car track.
I'm sorry, what?
That's what I was waiting for. I'm sorry, what?
Space NASCAR?
No. It was a big disaster at a reception for Ferris Aircraft getting a huge military contract. And, what's his face?
That's helpful.
The guy with the big brain.
Hector Hammond.
Yes, I'm drinking. Damn you.
I'm
Peter Skarsgård.
one ahead of you.
I don't give a fuck what you are.
Taller?
You're an alcoholic. I just
That hurts.
drink. You've said it yourself on this podcast. So don't use the, well, I haven't said it in public. And don't sniff at me neither. You know you are. Oh, whoa, no knives when the fucking...
Oh, this movie's appalling. Anyway.
I hate this movie very much. Oh, it's just a dream. That makes it so much better.
It's still Jason Priestley, so move on.
Anyway. There's this big reception because they got the contract. Hector Hammond is pissed off because his dad, the senator, has treated him like shit. Who happens to be Tim Robbins. Oh, imagine that. Tim Robbins being a douche. He kind of played it over the top, too. He was just like, I can make a lot of noise and be blustery, and everybody will believe it because I'm a fucking glad-handing senator.
Well, I will say, even from what you're describing, I'm not seeing the film, but it sounds like there's a distinct lack of subtlety that the film could have used a little bit.
Oh, sure. So, he develops his mental powers, and he gets mad at his father. And he starts tearing shit up. And his father is about to take off in a helicopter. And he takes a hold of it with his mental powers and starts flinging it all over the grounds. So, at this point, Hal decides, I have to save them. And now I also have to live up to the foreshadowing in the kid's room at the birthday party with the racetrack. So, he spends a minute and a half creating a construct in the shape of a fucking Hot Wheels track to keep this fucking crashing helicopter from plowing into people instead of just grabbing it with a big old fist
Or a shovel.
and calling it
Shovels
or
are
a
very
shovel
classic.
or a net. You know,
Dude, you almost never see nets. Like, you know, giant space ring nets are very rare.
or a bubble. Everyone would have accepted, every comic fan would have accepted a bubble.
Dude, no true comic fan would accept a bubble.
Sure.
Nope.
Well,
Bubbles are
what would you
half-assed.
use the fist. You would use the fist.
Ha ha! Oh, I see we have a wit here. It's like Oscar Wilde had a child with a big pile of crap.
What the fuck was that?
I was trying for something that didn't fully come off.
Woof. Really, you keep throwing me off track with this.
I know, it's my goal. No, but bubbles are horrible.
No, they're horrible, but everyone would have understood. Everyone who has read a Green Lantern comic would have.
He never puts anybody on bubble.
He puts people in bubbles all the
Yeah,
time.
for capture, but he never catches anybody in a bubble because it's not creative.
Well,
Bubble would be the Hollywood version, like, oh, well, we don't. A green baseball glove would look silly.
He could use a big green baseball
That
glove.
would have been awesome. But
people would have accepted that.
Hollywood would do a bubble, and you'd be sitting there, and it's like, really? A bubble?
But instead of just stopping the thing's momentum and just, picking it up, he could have used fucking salad tongs, for fuck's sake.
Intriguing.
He could have.
Space salad tongs.
He could have grabbed it and set it down and called it even. And they could have drawn it out so it was all very dramatic and oh my god, look at the power in that. And he could have stood there posing awesomely
With his salad tongs.
coming out of his green fist. It would have been just fine.
This is horrifying.
But what?
Salad tongs, green fists.
Whatever. It's fucking Green Lantern. What else are you gonna do? What would you have done?
Baseball glove, actually.
See, baseball glove. How? That's not crucially
Or if
different.
you need to be really creative and visually exciting,
Yeah.
giant steam shovel would have been awesome looking.
I don't know if steam shovel would have been appropriate.
Think about it, though. You create a giant machine with a big shovel that catches it.
I suppose. But
Hot track.
a Hot Wheels racetrack. And it just looped around the entire reception 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, when the fuck are you going to finish?
It was a helicopter, right?
It was a helicopter that was going to crash,
But instead,
and he channeled its momentum into this track instead of just stopping it.
I'm not entirely sure that's how that works.
It's how it worked on film.
Well,
And that's why it's the part I dislike.
Okay. Now, is it true that not only did they have some sort of space rocket raccoon rescue ranger?
I did not see Chippa.
No, it was a different one. It was like they didn't use. Supposedly, it wasn't Chippa. It was his cousin, another rocket raccoon rescue ranger.
I did not see a chipmunk Green Lantern out there.
And you looked
I was looking for him.
because you've heard this.
Yeah.
All right,
I didn't see him.
All right, fair enough.
Tomar Ray was pretty good.
Now they did. If what I've read is accurate, they
I wanted
did.
to see Arisia, though.
I'm sure
that
you did.
miniskirt? Fuck yeah.
They did seem to rewrite the effects and do them again after they got reamed, or perhaps it was just an early cut. I don't know.
There were a couple of things about the effects that they really could have done better.
But supposedly the original effects were appalling.
Well, I hadn't read that. You know what? I'll just get to the point. I am desperately trying to stop paying attention to all the pre-movie hype. It just builds shit up, and then it's not bad enough that you got your own expectations that you whip up in your own goddamn head, and then you're disappointed because they didn't do things the way you wanted them to.
Also true.
Now you got the whole hype, and then you see it, and you're like, well, maybe I can accept that, or maybe that looks like shit. I'm done with it.
It's better. I've been raving for this for years for you. You got to go into the film and treat it as an entity in and of itself. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you do something appallingly bad, like say,
No, I mean you still
Wolverine.
you still have to make a quality flick, one
know
way
what?
or another. But as long as it's internally consistent,
you know what? I've argued this with you, and I'm going to slightly differ from that because you can't totally throw things away and just keep the name.
No. That's what.
Because then you get Deadpool.
No, I'm
in
not asking
Wolverine.
for that either.
Right. No, I just want to clarify for the listeners' sake, all three of them.
You should be close, but I can't deal with slavish anymore.
No, it's true. You have to accept that the film has its own internal logic. But then, if you just go, well, it's just a movie and I can do whatever I want, you end up with Vinnie Jones as the Executioner, and
Which one's the Executioner?
I made that up, actually. He was the Juggernaut, and it was still appallingly bad.
It was terrible. I don't know. But I can't do it anymore. I'm done with that horse shit.
Now, as I said earlier, I've not done my homework, but there is one comic thing I want to discuss with you today.
Oh, yeah?
So I read the first 4 issues of the revamped cross-gen Ruse.
Right. Yeah?
I love the original 12 issues of Ruse.
Sure.
Now, you continued with the series after Mark Waid left.
Right.
Which I did not do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his triumphant return to the book he created, which is basically Sherlock Holmes light, except with a weird, witchy, space-age girl. Although they seem to have removed, so far, all the space age in the next 4 issues.
Right. Because they no longer have... nothing's tied together in the cross-gen universe anymore. She was a sigil bearer.
Oh! Why do you know? Oh, because it came up in the later ones.
Yeah. And they kept it very subtle and low-key, and they didn't really...
They hinted at it?
They hinted at it moderately.
Okay.
They weren't so subtle that you had to, like, reread the sentence. Oh, that could mean that. But they didn't, like, fucking
But I also didn't read Sigil at that point, so I would have had no clue. Okay, that actually clears some stuff up.
I read about it later.
Oh, all right.
So anyway, keep going.
So, the new Ruse revamp,
Uh-huh.
pretty solid.
Yep.
Kind of really missing Jackson Geist as the artist.
Yes.
Art wasn't appalling. It's not at any point you're looking at it like, oh, this is just crap looking. But they had such a nice dynamic for 12 issues. And this didn't sell it quite as well. I also felt Mark Waid frustrating me a little bit. First storyline back, let's go with the premier villain of the first 12 issues.
Yeah, he should have stayed away from there, really. That's like going back to the well. It was like, I know I gotta do this, so I'll bring back the...
Also, and we are a spoiler podcast, and I'm sure anybody reading a Ruse comic is not that worried about what's going to happen, but nonetheless, Queen Victoria as his secret agent? Really?
What kind of leverage could he have on the fucking queen that she would
even
be
if he
his
did,
agent?
dumb.
It is pretty bad.
Because, you know what? If I have leverage on a king or queen, I'm not going to blackmail it. I'm going to use it to make sure they don't fucking kill me when they discover I have leverage on them. You will be my spy in the... Well, actually in your own home, because you're the most powerful person I know.
That's what it boiled down to,
dumb,
really.
Dumbass. He wanted me to give him India. No, dear God. But, so what I took away from this, though, from a podcast standpoint, is an interesting query.
Yes?
I want you to give me a top 5. It's been a long time.
Yeah, top 5 what?
Top 5 books that died too soon. Because you look at Ruse, which was a creative concept and didn't go very far because CrossGen ate itself. So give me your top 5 books that should have evolved further than they did.
Booster Gold. All 3 She-Hulks. That's
Really?
4.
Really? Just fire it out and pay no attention to the details. That's awesome.
Didn't have time to prepare. Come on. Shit.
Think! Try thinking!
Well, a lot of them died. You know, a lot of them I wasn't following when they died, so...
Yeah, but books that had short lifespans that... There's been things you were buying that died when you were waiting for more.
All-Star Batman, man.
Okay, there you go.
I had gotten converted toward the end.
Really?
I'm like, this is just so fucking nutsy over the top. He has to be just fucking totally making fun of everyone on the planet when he writes these fucking books. He's not that unreasonable a human being. Looking at the history of the rest of his work, this can't be anything else. And you know, even if that wasn't true, even if he was planning to make it better, he ended up fucking with us just as if he was. so it all wash. It's a wash. So I'm the goddamn Batman. I don't have a problem believing me that one day
Batman
when
might
he's
say
mad
that.
enough and irritated enough, he's gone 4 days. He's been bitch slapped by Catwoman for the 4th time. He's finally going to get irritated enough to say, "I'm the goddamn Batman." I believe it.
All right, okay. So there's one real one. So think on your other 4 and fire away.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think, baby. The original Booster Gold made 32 issues.
Okay.
So I would have been happy getting more out of that.
You are a big Booster Gold fan.
Oh my god, they made a fucking satchel out of a boob. That's disgusting.
This is I hate this movie.
What is this thing even called, dude?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just turned on the next Masters of Horror you saw?
I grabbed a couple of them because Deer Woman made me laugh. It had a dude in a deer costume wearing a flannel carrying a woman to safety. If I can't laugh at that, I'm not an American.
Or you are, and you just have some kind of...
Laughter disorder.
Yes. So, Booster Gold, All-Star Batman. I didn't really care much about Captain Atom. I read a few issues, didn't care. Star Wars actually got a pretty respectable 107 issue run. So
I gave you the 107th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really count as before its time.
No, you can do that. I mean, I don't give a shit about Rom, but you can't say it died too soon. Ended in what, the mid-70s?
No, Rom? No, like 84.
No. Shang-Chi made 125.
Yeah, which was quite impressive.
Particularly considering it's a horrible kung fu comic book.
Well, I mean, you can't get the dynamism out of drawn pictures that you should get out of a kung fu flick, you know? So, it's kind of weird that way. Most of them... So many miniseries. They're just miniseries, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm
But
just
what
looking
did
for
they
things
kill?
you would like to continue.
How about the ones that turned to shit before they should have? Rather than canceled. How about that?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of great books have been I like, this is it, off the top of my head, Heckler, 6 issues. Fuck y'all.
Wasn't that a limited to begin with, though? No? Okay. Alright, Heckler.
You got Major Bummer.
Major Bummer.
13
Again, I
issues.
thought that was a miniseries.
No.
But
What
if you say
mini-
so, I'll believe you. I believe you.
Great
know.
book.
Major Bummer.
You've got, let's see, right off, there's 2. Obviously, Leave It to Chance only made 12.
Oh, yes, that's a very good point.
Maybe
that's a very good
13,
point.
but, didn't make the 20s.
No. Alright, I can agree with you with Leave It to Chance there. Absolutely.
So there's 3 right there. Let's step away from comedy books, which obviously are box office poison. More serious books. I was kind of enjoying the Giffen Return to Suicide Squad that made 12 issues.
What, the one from last year?
No, a couple years ago now.
The one with the Metal Man backup?
No, I didn't.
No, not that one. Okay. No,
But-
Giffen only did the Metal Man backup on that
okay.
one. That's why. Okay.
You remember I showed it to you? It had giant ants eating supervillains. And you're like, dude, get this the fuck away from me.
Yes, that's... What the frig now? They got aliens and spirits taking people over? Are these aliens? Or are these ghosts?
I cannot answer.
That's
Because
an
I
alien.
do not know. Either it's an alien or... Wow.
Wow.
Awful.
Kids,
awful.
it looks like the glowy spirits from WoW, you know, like the highborn spirits that are...
Honestly,
and of course the redneck's gonna shoot it.
it kind of looks like a combination of the Abyss water creature
Yes.
and the aliens from the second 3 Star Wars movies.
The
That were-
Kaminoans.
The ones that were... Well, I take great
The
pride in not
Kaminoans.
knowing that answer.
The
but-
Kaminoans. Just say, okay, the fucking Kaminoans.
Okay, the chameleons.
Kaminoans.
I'm okay not knowing this,
You know what? Let's just move on. So, we're making our first actual appearance as an exhibitor at a con.
Really?
Yes.
When?
We are going to sit at a table with a banner and a mixer and a laptop and microphones.
When is this happening?
It's happening August 27th in Stamford, Connecticut.
Am I going to be there?
You are, in fact, going to be there.
Are we sure?
You said that you were getting that day. Twice you've told me that.
Then why don't I know about this?
You do, in fact. It's
Oh.
they that... You're playing the role of the listener today.
Okay. No, I did request said day off. This means nothing in my world, as we found out before, but I did... to the degree that I can make this happen, I have tried to.
Fine, it'll be just me and Cabo then.
You know I will still wander off, though. At some point
yeah,
during the
you got to
day.
buy some shit.
All right.
And then I got to send you out with the microphone and talk to Ron Mars and all the other guys.
Really?
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Roving lunatic.
Goddamn right, man.
Reporter.
That's your role in this whole shebang.
I am a roving lunatic reporter.
You are, in fact. And
I like the sound of it.
We'll be tripping out to GobbleCon. We're not going to be exhibiting because that shit's costly. But yeah, we're going to have a table. We're going to be actual participants rather than just wandering around being consumers.
Nice. Why is it that not being a consumer is more expensive than being a consumer?
That depends exactly on what the fuck you're consuming.
Ooh, creative.
You know, you could walk into a show like that and walk out with $250 worth of shit easily.
Well,
I mean, without even fucking thinking, really. And we'll go into GobbleCon, we'll see what they have to say, you know. And we are now official backers of Womanthology.
I'm sorry, what?
Which sounds, I understand and appreciate that coming from us, that sounds something far different than it actually is.
Let me be really clear. How can I be a backer of something I've never heard of before?
You do everything in my name.
Motherfuck. Is that working against me somehow?
No, it'll work for you.
Alright, what is Womanology?
Womanthology is a huge new female creator-based comic book filled with stories and art and sketches and how-tos and everything. We've contributed to their Kickstarter campaign today.
Oh?
Yep.
What did we contribute?
We contributed $20,
That's very nice of you.
which is enough to get our name in the thank you page in the book.
Ah.
So I even offered that they should be, on the podcast to promote it. So we're here promoting it to them. Thank you very much, come again.
Wow.
Because we believe in female creators, because we're equal opportunity nuthatches.
we really are.
We are, in fact.
I am all for creators of all walks of life. Like, if a puppy were to write a comic, I would endorse that. I mean, that's not comparable, obviously.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, Gail Simone's not going to be writing nearly to the same degree as a puppy. Wait. A puppy's not going to...
We're just digging a hole that we're not trying to dig right now. And I like puppies. This is
No,
just
that
going-
one was on purpose. I was not fucking deliberately with Gail Simone. It was just a joke. I enjoy her work all the hell and gone. It's fine.
No, you're actually, considering what a sexist, chauvinistic bastard you are,
Hey!
phenomenally supportive of females in the comic industry. One of your top 10 comic artists is Amanda Connor.
Yes.
You have repeatedly endorsed Gail Simone.
Yes.
Miss Simonson, you've enjoyed.
Yes, Louise. Always been happy with her work, except on Power Pack. Sorry, Louise. But
You,
I
you
just
love
can't.
She-Hulk. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Now, I bet She-Hulk could be a lot of fun in like Marjorie Liu's hands.
Marjorie Liu from...
Nothing I've let you read.
Okay, well, there you go. In that case, I feel okay in not knowing.
Currently writing X-23.
What is X-23 exactly?
Well, actually, the Weapon X program.
Oh, is that the chick Monet
Weapon
or
10.
Weapon 10?
She's Weapon 23.
Wow. I wonder what Weapon 17 is like.
I don't want to know.
I do. Like, I want to be able to pick a weapon at random and hear their story.
We should write that. We should write the Weapon 17 story.
I'm sorry, the adamantium did not take. Now you're just in a lot of pain. Enjoy your day. And I have, right there.
All done. He was not Canadian, he was Guatemalan.
I am now Screaming Bob, the not superhero.
Screaming Bob, Weapon 17.
I read that book. I'd be the only one. It'd just be a guy lying in bed going, for 24 pages. But I would totally read that.
I don't know if 24 pages I could get through, strictly speaking.
Well, every now and then you have to go with the doctor going, there's nothing we can do. For pathos.
For pathos.
There's just not enough pathos out there.
But no, I hope they take us up on our offer, because I'd love to talk about this book.
Well, you should write them back. Let them know that we raved about it. Well, you raved about it. I just heard about it. But I'm sure I'll like it.
Well, it isn't actually published yet, and I'm sure it's going to be insanely expensive, because it's like 140 creators in it.
Nonetheless, though, fire it out there. Hey, if I can endorse something I've never read, I'll totally do that, because
I'll do it.
I know you will.
I'm all about really support.
And I feel like we've entered a gray area at this point. No, obviously anything that allows people to get out there and do things they want to do is a great thing. And more females in comics means more comics to more broader audiences, and that's a good thing. And the coolest thing in life is not when a girl or a guy writes for a girl or a guy, but when a girl or a guy writes a great story and everybody likes it.
Right.
And in the end, it doesn't matter. So when you can have that kind of broad-based spectrum, that's a success right there.
I would like to think so, sure.
So hopefully it's a great comic, or a great amalgam of comics.
Yes.
Or a great sketchbook. 'Cause apparently it's very random what you're
there's
describing.
many things in one big volume.
So it's like the encyclopedia.
No, it's like an anthology.
Oh, God, really?
Womanthology, Womanthology, anthology, manthology.
You seem to be focusing on the word ology. Do you have a problem?
Anthology.
Anthology.
Womanthology.
And
Do you see?
riceology.
It's almost like a pun, but it's more like a mashup than a pun.
Because puns are bad.
Because puns are horrifying.
That's what you've told me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't lie to you about language. Anyway, it's an hour. We're going to call it even. You done? You got anything else you want to say?
Well, there's one thing.
What's that?
Bless you, fuckers!
I just set up yours, baby.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. You can find us on iTunes, Podcast Alley, Facebook, Comic Space, our own site, www.themeangeek.com. Subscribe to us through RSS, and most importantly, find us as a proud member on the Comics Podcast Network. Contact us directly through email at themeanergeek@gmail.com.